Hello, I am Adriana, Mental Health Specialist at Family Source Consultants. I am joined by Kasha, who is one of our match specialists with Family Source. Kasha, thank you for joining me. Today we are here to discuss coping strategies for those who are facing or have faced failed IVF or surrogacy cycles. First, let me share a little bit about my background and role here at Family Source. I have been a mental health professional for almost 25 years in various mental health settings, including inpatient, outpatient, and private practice therapy. Here at Family Source, I conduct the psychological evaluations that are required of surrogates, intended parents, and egg donors as part of the process according to the American Society for Reproductive Medicine. Kasha, please share a little bit about your background and what you do as a match specialist here at FSC.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Adriana, for having me. So my name is Kasha, and I am one of the match specialists here at FSC. I myself am also a previous intended parent, so I have navigated this journey of IVF and fertility, as well as a surrogate journey, and also work with intended parents in the matching specialist department. It's the opportunity for me to really get to assist them on their journeys from the very beginning stages when they come into a surrogate agency all the way up to the point where they get to the matching phase. So it's really a special and blessed privilege that I have to work with intended parents every day.
Absolutely. So many clients we work with on a daily basis have been affected by a failed IVF or surrogacy cycle. Coping with these losses can be difficult and often isolating. Kasha, what do you feel is the most important thing to keep in mind when faced with this type of grief?
Yes. So first and foremost, let me start just by saying that you're not alone. No matter what you're feeling in that moment, your emotions are shared by others and are very real and valid. It's a very difficult position to be put in. So to begin coping with and processing a failed IVF or surrogacy cycle, you really need to acknowledge those feelings that you're having. It's so important to take some time and identify what your feelings really are. It could be talking to your partner. It could be talking to friends and family. Some people find it very useful to write things down, write their thoughts down, their feelings in a journal. Others think it's best by going for a walk or spending some time in nature. Some may express these feelings through crying as well. It's a very natural part of the process to have an array of emotions. Everyone will do this differently, but it should be the first step, as we cannot process and cope with anything until we really sit with those emotions and until we identify what they are.
That's a great point. Not everyone will feel the same emotion after a failed cycle, but everyone is valid in how they are feeling. There could be a wide range of emotions, anywhere from sadness to anger to guilt. Tell me what's next if I'm having a difficult time identifying or processing through those feelings.
Yes. So I think one of the main things that may seem obvious, but is sometimes difficult to do, is to seek out support. Of course, this can look different to each and every person depending on their situation, but ensuring that you reach out and gain support and comfort, especially in this time of need, is imperative, as this type of grief can already feel so isolating. Like you mentioned, this may be your spouse or family members, a best friend, but it could also be a coworker or your hairstylist or neighbor. As long as you're reaching out and speaking to somebody, should it feel as though you are unaware or unsure of who your immediate support is, you really want another connecting support person on your team, then connecting with a mental health professional is always a great option as well.
That is so important. During our psychological consultations with intended parents, we dive into the importance of a strong support system and who they will lean on throughout their family building journey. I also love that you included mental health professionals as part of the support system. It's important to do some research and ensure you connect with a mental health professional who specializes in infertility and assisted reproduction.
Absolutely. It is so important to lean on knowledgeable professionals during this time, which is a perfect segue into my next point. Arm yourself with knowledge. So talk with your reproductive endocrinologist. Talk about possible reasons for the failed treatment. Discuss what could be done differently when you are, navigating those next steps. And best piece of advice is to avoid Dr. Google and definitely talk with the professionals. Knowledge can be one of the most helpful things with reestablishing your foundations to make informed decisions moving forward.
Yes, Dr. Google is not the answer. Similarly, it is important to beware of excessive like social media consumption. While it could be used as a supportive community in some instances, constant consumption of filtered and picturesque lives is not helpful. And while experiencing grief, it is important to protect yourself from unnecessary triggers that can come with Facebook and Instagram scrolling.
Exactly. This is the time to really focus on yourself and your partner. Self-care during this time is also really important while protecting yourself from those unnecessary triggers like social media. It is important to take care of yourself in a way that would take care of a family member or close friend. So this doesn't have to be a spa day or a vacation. It could be, of course, but more of the simple things that you can do to help yourself, show some compassion, and really hold space for yourself during that time, ways for you to engage in the present moment and the positivity that does exist. So maybe an exercise, a special homemade dessert, a cup of tea, a book, a long bubble bath, whatever it is, make time for it. Really try to reconnect with yourself and show yourself some grace during this time.
Yes, find time to put yourself first and reset. Specifically for our intended parents who are working with FSC, who can they connect with on our teams for support or with questions if they have recently gone through a failed surrogacy cycle?
Yes. So the case coordination team really walks hand in hand with each intended parent on their journey throughout the transfers that they will be going on. This is the best person to connect with during your surrogate journey. They'll really be your right hand person. Our intended parents also always have access to our mental health specialist as well. So that's such a critical and pivotal, connection to keep going through the journey. They can be a great resource to connect with regarding any recommendations from the providers and anyone who really works in and specializes in working with the population.
Fantastic. Kasha, thank you so much for joining me today to chat about this sensitive topic. Talking about this only helps our clients to know that they are not alone and that they have support within Family Source at every step of the journey.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.